still
Is it?
It still says it's just connecting. It hasn't gone live yet.
I'm sure it is.
Welcome everybody. But it is showing black on the screen. But maybe that's just.
Yeah, it'll be
It still
fine.
says connecting there. I think it is working. So we'll go with this. I am done with my laptop because I think I can just. I don't know.
He's got it all in his mind today. He is.
Yeah.
Extra smart when he's sick.
Welcome to another Dr. Scovy update. We're gonna just gonna be a little bit like smaller today or shorter potentially because we only have like just kind of the farm and weather updates, and then we're gonna get into a test project that we have been working on. That's not the official Dr. Scovy subject, but it's another subject shot in the same style, and we'll get into that after I give you some updates.
Yep.
So, and sorry if I'm like slow and such. My brain is a little bit fogged because I'm under the weather, and so we have the buff duck and chocolate that were, they were sick, and now they are out back to the pond. That happened, I think, Wednesday. I took them out. So that's good. The chocolate, though, is most likely just going to remain blind in one of her eyes because I believe her eye was itchy and such that the sickness she had was like gumming up her eye, and she scratched it. And so she scratched it really deep, and it's just kind of now clouded over. So she'll probably remain blind, unfortunately. But she is doing like well with her one eye, and that's nice.
That's very good.
The other thing is that I think we've peaked on the snowpack, and it's starting to warm up, and we've got just days of warmth. So I believe the forecast for the runoff in the river is going to, like, it's maybe like 3 feet right now. It's going to raise up to about 5 to 6 feet in about 3 days is where they put it, because that's where it's still pretty cold. The sun's out, but it's still cold. The weather starts to warm up, and then that's when it starts to come down. This is good because it's happening in April when it's just a little cooler, and hopefully we can take some of that snowpack, eliminate it.
Do you think flooding is inevitable? Just with
In
how
some
much?
places. In some places, I already know people are from the groundwater. There's the water. It's just so saturated that even just kind of like down in the valley, I've seen
places.
people that have pumps that are coming out of their basements. So what happens is they've got a basement, and the groundwater is seeping up in their basement. So what they have to do is they have to get a sup pump. A lot of times what that involves is taking going in your concrete floor, breaking a hole in it, and then digging down like 5 or 6 feet, putting a tube and dropping a sup pump, and then running that out outside.
Just to seep back in and enter your basement.
Well, I mean, kind of, yeah. I mean, I think so, just to keep it from house and such. So it's and so even expecting storms, it's standard in Minnesota. It's not so standard here. So it's not everybody.
Interesting, yeah.
And it doesn't affect us. We're actually, it's kind of more like a half basement. We're number one, we're on a hill. I don't think we're gonna have any issues. So one half of the house is like against dirt, and the other one's open, kind of not as compact, like around. I don't know. So I don't think we don't have that same issue here that other people do. Plus, there's there's just you think about the valley and it's just got a little bit of highs and lows everywhere, and that water just coming in, and the low spots is just sitting there.
Yeah.
Like there's new people, there's fields around that in this normally they're not flooded with water,
Yeah.
but they're flooded. So to kind of go back to your flooding question, flooding is already
Already happening. Okay.
an issue. So, but whether or not, I mean, the river at the farm, we have quite a lot of capacity, and the bank is higher than it was back in '83 when it was like the same
flooding.
scenario that we have right now. So we're planning that it won't breach the bank, but then we've got all those sandbags that we're filling, and they'll be ready.
That's good.
So, I think that wraps up the updates, and so let me get a little bit of a drink, and we can get into the
next item of business. An actual like Dr. Scovy film series.
Yeah. So what we've done is, and I'll just show this screen right here for people. So I'll give you kind of an introduction here. What you're looking at right now is just the screen, and in a moment you'll kind of see the actors come on, and we're gonna let you watch this, and then we'll talk about it.
There might not be audio.
Do you want to test?
Yeah, so we'll see. Is audio going?
No, audio's not going.
Sorry, let's. Because I think it just equals
Technical.
what I'm at. Now it should.
Well, do you want to try?
Oops.
I don't see the audio yet. There we go. Okay, there we go.
Audio's playing.
You know it's not a match for this library, right?
So you can go take it back to the beginning. Sorry, just noticed that there was no sound. So we're gonna take that back, and why don't you get it going and see if there's sound again? I'm gonna. Oh goodness. Okay, there is sound. There was sound. Okay.
Library, right? Yeah, I'm just committing.
Okay, it looks like there's no sound. Tim, come on. Help us out. We want to watch it. All right, we'll just get into our...
song to. This one.
You're just going to get a song? There's no sound. That's playing. Okay, now that's playing.
No, it's not.
It's playing. It's still playing.
But now it's not on here.
It is. There's something playing on your laptop. There was audio playing on your laptop.
But no more?
No more.
Okay. Audio playing?
No, it's not playing.
That's so odd.
now it's playing. So we'll just get it playing and then...
Committing it to memory.
Goes away.
That is weird.
Okay, this is weird. For some reason, let's just use it. The speakers. Can you make it so it plays out of the speakers?
Yeah.
And we'll just do the like
Janky way.
janky way. Yeah, that's what it's called, janky. All right.
Alrighty, here it is from the.
You know it's not Immaculate Library, right? Yeah, I'm just committing it to memory. Could you chew a little quieter, please? Ash! What are we even doing here? You're the one that said this library contains the next clue for the mystery. Well, I'm not seeing it. Fine, do you want your apple back? Yeah. Hey, I think this is it. Really? Yeah, look. You're right. It has the same symbol. Hey, where's my apple? Oh. Oh. Yeah. What's this? Ash, look at this. Hey, what is this? It must be part of the mystery cake. Look. The book, this medallion, and this map, they all have the same symbol. I know where we need to go. Hey! You forgot my apple!
Yay! Good job, Tim. Good job. And if you'd like, you can go like rewatch that on Filmer Tim's
YouTube. So yeah, YouTube
channel.
Filmer Tim channel.
And then you can get the proper audio. So, Tim, what do you think? I guess first off, what did that involve to even get to that point? What did you have to do this week?
Oh, there's so much. It's kind of crazy because there's so much that you don't actually see that's happening. And even just a small little an example is things are happening in the background of the video while it's being done that's not even like seen. Because the apple was being switched in and out because between a fake apple and a real apple so they could eat it and then throw an apple and not have it splat everywhere to make a big mess. And
you probably didn't even notice.
Yeah. so there's things behind the scenes happening like that. But then also like all the prop building, the set designing and the staging. And then also...
When did you start building the props?
It was probably at least a month ago for this. Yeah, probably a month ago. So, and it was like all pretty simple, but just getting the medallion, the bookshelf.
What was getting the medallion process like?
Well,
just how did it start out?
at first we were going to do that as a metal medallion that was picked up. And so we put together some files to be cut on the thing.
CNC
Yeah, on the
laser
machine.
cutter. Yeah, so Edward he's in metal shop welding at the high school. And so he was going to cut that out and weld it together. And we're going to have a steel representation.
Yeah.
So,
but he also, this last week, the week that I was going to cut it, he had a bunch of shows that he was performing in. And so he had a bunch of rehearsal to perform. Yeah. And so he wasn't even at the classes. And then when he got there one day that he could, the files didn't even work or something like that. So then I ended up just cutting it out of foam and doing some spray paint onto a little foam piece. So it kind of turned out and worked well.
I think it probably turned out better because one of the things that you were able to do is easily carve in some like rough edges and such.
Yeah. That would have been harder on a metal piece.
I think the only thing that I would say could have been improved is adding some weight, like cutting into the foam, like maybe taking one of the back piece, putting something heavy in it just so that it has just some natural weight to it.
Yeah.
Rather, because it just looks so light and fluffy like popcorn.
Yeah. But like, I feel like on the video it doesn't look as light as it does in real life, which is nice.
It looks pretty good.
Yeah. There was one shot where he drops it just in a different take.
True. And
it bounces like it was metal. It was weird. It would have... Like you add a few sound effects and no one would second guess that.
Okay.
So I think it was nice. And then, doing the book. There was some real books and then there are also on the bookshelf, a bunch of them were just printed pages onto cardboard. Because to managing a full bookshelf, that is a lot of weight.
Yeah, and just you think of the logistics of taking and finding books, loading them onto a truck, taking them to the farm, putting them in. It's just you can simplify it by printing out some stuff.
There was one section that was real books where he grabs the real book from them. I found a place where you could buy these, what they called as decoration books, for like $2 a book. So that was nice. Okay. And they looked decorative, which was good.
Nice.
But but besides all the physical stuff that's happening, there was also all the story writing that had to happen as well. And just, it's kind of funny because I wrote up the script and now like watching it be performed, I'm like, it almost feels a little cheesy, but I also knew it was a cheesy adventure. Yeah. Like I wrote it in mind knowing it was going to be
kind of cheesy.
Yeah. So, but so it was okay.
So she chuckled quite a bit at the apple.
That's good.
That was the whole kind of like
yeah. It kind of was like that's gonna be the story element of this section. It through. Yeah. That ties the segment together.
Yeah. It was quite good. So and we when did they start rehearsing?
I only hired Peter to play the part last Saturday. So before that, the very original, when I first wrote it, I had in mind of Travis and me acting it out and you filming.
Yeah.
But then I was like, okay, I just know I'm going to need to do... I've got a lot of logistic stuff I got to just worry about behind the camera that I'm just going to have to do. And so I was like, okay, I can't act. So then I asked Edward if he could take my place. And then after a little bit, Peter was just asking, he's like, do you have any work for me to do? I was like, you know what? I actually have this part. And the funny thing is, even while I was originally writing it, one of the characters, the character that Peter played, I'm like, it seems a lot like Peter's just personality in general.
Just his natural attitude.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, he was my inspiration from the beginning of one of the characters.
Yeah, and you're right. Peter has grown up quite a bit. So he was like just a little. He was all practically in diapers when we did first Our Chicken Life.
That's true.
I know that he. There was one point where he was just growing like 3 inches in a month.
Yeah,
it was insane how fast he grew, and I don't think he's done growing.
No, yeah.
His plan is to be taller than Charles, and Charles is 6'2"?
6'4".
6'4".
Yeah.
6'4". Man. Wow. So his I don't know, 6'6" is that what he's trying to
I guess
get
so.
to?
That'll be mighty tall. I think I'm done growing. I'm like 6 feet, so.
Yeah, I'm probably now shrinking. I'm on the other side. So let's see, another question. So what was the day like filming? Like how many takes, what did you have to plan for? What was that like?
So, well, funny thing with this all happened yesterday. We filmed that what you watched yesterday. So one of the nice things is the post-production process really easy. Like all I had to do was make a soundtrack to fit to it. But because of that, there was a lot more work that had to happen beforehand. And so there was just a lot of normal just prep work on the shoot day. So I spent a few hours just gathering the props, the costuming, and getting everything put together to get there. And then the day before that, I'd gone to the stage and done the stage dressing of setting up the set pieces and setting up the lights. And then, so once that's all set up, we actually went there and we spent a few hours just rehearsing, going through and figuring out exactly the blocking of where everyone will go and where the lines will be set and what the stage hands will have to be doing in the background, and like switching the backdrop as they are moving and switching the lights and figuring all that out. So there's just a lot of logistic planning. And then once we got all that kind of settled, we were like, okay, we were just rehearsing it through and getting the whole run through done just because we wanted to shoot it in a single take. And once we were like, okay, I think we're good to go. We were just like, okay, this is the final run. And we just did the final run like 10 times, maybe more. But the final run is the one that we used.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it was the final take.
It got to where we had a good take, and we're like, let's just do it one more time. That one was really solid, really good, and let's just go one more time.
Yep.
And the one more time outdid it. They outdid it the very last time.
Yeah.
So, what are some things that you learned in this process? How would you do things maybe differently?
All my prep work I did in the morning yesterday of like gathering the costume. Well, gathering all the stuff and just all the film gear and costumes and props, and have all that prepared the beforehand as well. So it's like maybe even start preparing 3 days beforehand. So I had my day of set dressing, and then the next day I can get all the equipment laid out and prepared and all the lighting. And also I had to mess with the lighting a lot more when the actors were actually there. So it would be nice. I should actually really work out the lighting before that and get that all situated so that when I don't have to waste everyone else's time while they're on set, having to figure out the lights.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing that I even noticed is that there's a lot of, I think there's that the lighting can be, needs improvement. It's good, but it's not like great. I think and I don't know if it's that we need like just some mannequin that stands in and you can kind of
that's
move it
something
around
that Travis
and just,
mentioned.
yeah, that's smart. So that's kind of what I'm maybe thinking.
Probably
even just like a
mannequin.
closer. Yeah, man, just, I don't know, something. We need a stand-in for someone.
Doing lighting.
And maybe two, because I noticed that in some of the shots you can see Peter is like just really bright and Edward is really dark and then sometimes he's just casting a shadow on him. So it's there's just some small things. Knowing that it's stage light, and it does have a very stage light feel,
which is good.
It does. It works, and you can kind of get the feel of the stage, but it is feeling a little bit. It's got some really good elements.
Yeah, it's getting there. So yeah, this is definitely just like a project to help figure out the style and the I guess, look in the production process of making the Dr. Scovy
Yeah,
films.
because we're still we're just to the point where we have like an initial script that we can do a casting call to then have people read through the script, kind of decide, okay, yeah, I like this project, I'm gonna go try out, and then they can give their rendition of like Dr. Scovy, Lizzie. Those are the two that we're trying to cast. Those two characters. Other characters will be
I have a lot of
just friends and such. And so but those will be very important. Those are the most important. And I think next week we'll go over. We're hoping to kind of act it out. the Dr. Scovy, so you can kind of get a feel for the direction that we want to take these mysteries.
Yep. So it'll
what
be
they'll
good because
consist
you'll be able to combine the imagination of visualization from the library film that we've already done.
Yeah.
And now apply it when you're listening to the script. It can actually be pieced together in your mind a little bit better.
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess Vane, where did my hair go? Yeah. Just woke up and it was gone. I think maybe bed bugs or something. So we cut it. You should check out, there's on my Twitter, I've got a picture where my wife braided my hair like Legolas in Lord of the Rings. So before she cut it, she did it all nice and fancy. And I was like, oh, no, I gotta keep it. Let's do this every day. but then we cut it.
It's a lot of upkeep to like braid that every day. Crazy.
Yeah, it would become really, to braid it every day is a nice hope and nice dream, but is it realistic? So it was kind of fun. It was fun to be Legolas for 15 minutes.
Yeah. There's a reason they'd have like 2 hours of makeup and costuming when they're actually getting Legolas ready. It's like every single day. It's like you start work at like 5 a.m. to be ready to go shoot at 7.
That's true. That's true.
So I think we need to apply that to our Dr. Scovy because we ran out of time. Like filming all that took probably like 4 hours of actually filming there, and
that was only 2 minutes.
Yeah, to get 2 minutes. And the script for the Dr. Scovy is probably at least 7 right now, so that's like 3 times as much time. Well,
plus that's only the first half because we have the second half that we actually haven't even written. Yeah. Right.
So it might be because I have some of it written.
All of them have a part 1 and a part 2 because the idea is that there's the setup of the mystery and giving you enough clues for you to figure it out, like what's going on. And then you go to the Dr. Scovy app, make a guess, get your Dash Duck feed tokens, and then go watch the ending to see if you guessed right.
Yeah. And one thing we didn't
first part is 7 minutes.
Yeah. So I think there's 2 minutes after that. So
about,
like a 10 minute.
9-10 minutes.
Yeah. So that's a lot. And then something we didn't even do yesterday that we should do is while the actors are there, we need to do at least some form of photo shoot to do our movie poster thumbnails.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yep. So those are all some good things that we've learned and kind of the reason why we're doing this. Mm-hmm. And we're going to learn. We'll continue.
Yeah, there's so much I don't know.
So what's your feeling and your take, and now that you've got this this initial shoot under, what's your feeling on the one take, how that worked?
So I like it a lot, and I was originally thinking that they'll all be one take, like each scene of the film will be one take, but now I'm wanting to do the whole film as one take.
Meaning when
going
if
from
we
transition.
move like you move to Dr. Scovy's office, to the street, to the library. Those are 3 different transitions.
Yeah. So originally I was thinking that'd be like 3 different cuts. Like you'd end up having a cut. So those were the only times you'd have a cut. But now I'm starting to think that the only time there's a cut is at the beginning to start it and then the end to end it. So you actually combine the walk from the street or the office to the street into the library. It's all a single take. And you keep the camera rolling.
Stage hands or something. We figure out the logistics of making that happen.
Yeah. That's what from doing this, I'm like, okay, that's what I want to do.
Yeah. We do have one transition. There's that transition from the outside to the inside, and
I like that a lot.
Yeah. Now, one thing that I learned is that we've got to figure out how to control the lights better. Mm-hmm. So the lights we're using are aperture, and they have these Bluetooth protocols, CRMX, I think is what it's called. Anyways, it's like, it's stuff I've never dived into. We used their app to control it, and it was really finicky. And the thing that I hated is when you'd change scenes, it took everything to dark, to black, and then turned everything back on. It was like, wait, what I want to do is I want to fade those lights out, fade these ones on, like a regular stage production would be, and so we don't have the control over the lights that we need.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And so I'm like gonna research that like a ton, and so it's fun. It's something that's something that I just
get
thrilled over. Yeah, oh yeah,
that would be good.
I love learning and learning new things.
Yep.
So yeah, we have a little bit on Dr. Scovy YouTube channel there, Vane. Kind of just some sneak peeks. The best we do on the Dr. Scovy, we had a live stream that we did like 4 weeks ago where we talked about what it is, and we've kind of slowly been revealing more and more. So we're planning, and even when we're sick, we're planning on like sticking to this schedule of noon on Fridays to give you these updates to talk about them. We've got lots more planned, lots of stuff that we're still like haven't revealed. So
lots to make in little bits of film.
So thank you, Tim, for what you did this week. That was a big.
Thank you. It was fun.
It was good, and I'm very hopeful. I think we're. It's going to be nice. I'm happy with what has happened, and
I'm excited too.
Thank you all for being here, and I need to stop the YouTube bit so that we can kind of have that live stream
archived.
So I'll stop that. I think that's probably stopped.